Hello, my name is Brian Ricketts, and I am a faculty-led program specialist working in education abroad under the Office of Global Affairs. In this series of videos, we will review questionnaire number 3, Cost and Finances. The questionnaire is used as a guide by your faculty-led program specialist to build your program budget. It is not necessary for you to create your own budget, as Education Abroad has their own tools to create a budget that will incorporate all faculty and student costs to determine the price per participant. Each program will be required to follow an OGA-approved budget in the standard template with university-applied costs that are standard across all programs. Let us do the work to organize your cost information into the required format. While listing expenses in the questionnaire, remember, the goal is to estimate a cost per student that accurately reflects the program expenses. The program needs to be self-sustaining, but should not generate extra revenue. Please give as much information as possible regarding the amounts provided. For example, is this a cost per student or total for a group? Does the price require a minimum number of participants? Is the faculty included in the student price or billed separately? Your answers will be used to generate a draft budget and start a more in-depth conversation with your faculty-led program specialist. It's okay to indicate when costs are estimates or you need additional support finding a provider. So with that, let's get started. Once you're in your program application page, you're going to scroll down and you'll see the Cost and Finance section, Part 3 right here. You're going to click on that, and this will start us with the questions. So, question 1, subsidy info. So here we want to know if your program will be subsidized by funds from your college or department. Subsidy funds are those transferred to OGA to reduce the per student cost equally across all participants. Scholarships processed to a student's account directly do not impact the program budget and price. Subsidy funds need to be guaranteed before a program proposal can be approved. It is best to leave off funds that may not be available and use those for scholarships once confirmed. Question number 2, external funding. These funds are used similarly to subsidies, but are not classified as university or state funds. These may come from grants or donations. Question number 3, minimum number of participants. The minimum number of participants is significant to your program planning. The minimum number may be determined by contract requirements for a specific price or determined by the ideal group size for class engagement. Fixed costs, like faculty travel expenses, are often split evenly across the minimum number of students to guarantee financial viability. Set the number too low and the price per student will be too high. Set the minimum too high and you may not be able to recruit enough students. Consider the student population that will benefit from your program when setting the minimum number of students. Question number 4, maximum number of participants. The maximum number of participants is more flexible as program recruitment progresses. WVU requires at least 1 faculty member per 12 students. However, as the number of participants increases, your budget will likely scale to cover the cost of needed chaperones. Factors that may limit the maximum number of participants are transportation, host limitations, accommodations, etc. Please include information that may guide these conversations should the need arise. Question number 5, airfare. Most WVU faculty-led programs include group airfare. This will be booked by your faculty-led program specialist using one of our approved travel agents. You are not required to include airfare. However, specific flights can only be required if included in the program. Programs with strict schedules or complicated routes are strongly encouraged to include airfare. Programs with flexible schedules or a high likelihood of variation in student departure may choose not to include airfare. These include programs starting mid-summer that may have opportunities for students to stay longer with a partner, for an internship, or for personal travel. Students may make requests for individual deviations from group flights by contacting the Office of Global Affairs. Please plan the best option for your group, and we will accommodate individuals when needed. Question number 6, airport transfer for students. How will students get from home to the airport in the US and back post-trip? While group transfers may be arranged by Education Abroad, Services around Morgantown are now limited and can be very expensive. We encourage you to consider the needs of your students against the cost of group transportation. Alternatives include meeting students at the airport or using university-owned or rented vehicles with non-traveling drivers to provide drop-offs and pickups. Funds can be provided to compensate drivers for their time. Undergraduate students are not permitted to drive university-related rental cars. Question number 7. Airport transfers for faculty and chaperones. WVU maintains a contract with Enterprise for one-way rentals to and from the Pittsburgh International Airport. This is the preferred method of transportation and can be extended to Dulles International Airport. While students are not permitted to drive rental cars, they may carpool with faculty leaders. Consider arrival and departure times, as well as jet lag, to avoid driving safety concerns. If an overnight hotel stay is needed before or after your trip in the U.S., please indicate that here. Question number 8. Transportation while abroad. Please list the modes of transportation and estimated costs for the entire trip. These funds will be flexible within your budget. Transportation for all required excursions should be covered by the program cost. Transportation during free time should be considered a personal expense to the students. Faculty are discouraged from using rental cars or driving students abroad. International rental car usage will need to be reviewed by the International Travel Advisory Committee, ITAC, before final program approval will be granted. Please consider vehicle size and passenger limits, as this may limit your group size. This is the end of the first of 2 or 3 videos on the cost and finance section. Please see the other videos in this series to be able to finish the questionnaire. And thank you very much, and we look forward to helping you.